Back in the day, being black and gay was very taboo, especially if you were the #1 hot topic. So let's discuss exactly why so many black celebrities died in the closet. Let's discuss. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Beasley here. I hope you all are staying cool, calm, and collected out there. So, I'm here. But seriously, I've truly missed you guys. Truly missed you guys. I haven't been anywhere, just haven't been in front of this camera. You know, y'all know me. Beasley tends to get a little busy. But you know, one thing I've noticed about me in this channel, that just like Clarence Thomas, old crater face ass, I haven't offered up anything positive or anything like of service, of substance to the black community. And for a while now, I haven't given you gays or black gays something you guys can relate to. So today, since it's Black History Month, I wanted to go ahead and talk about the black celebrities that died within the closet. Now, y'all, I gotta keep it real. I tend to call February every February because there's always a bunch of foolishness and chicanery that goes on within February that distracts people from the fact that it's Black History Month. But it is what it is. I want to shed some light on some very notable black individuals that either died within the closet or most people knew were gay, but that said person was ashamed of themselves. So let's get into it, shall we? So our first black gay celebrity that died in the closet is the comedian by the name of Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor died of a heart attack in 2005. He was actually married to Jennifer Pryor. And if I'm looking down, I'm looking at my notes. In 2018, messy ass Quincy Jones spilled the tea that him and Marlon Brando hooked up back in the day, which honestly, Jennifer, his then wife, actually later confirmed this. And the Brando family, mainly like Marlon Brando's son and also Richard Pryor's son and the whole entire family, was just absolutely pissed. One of the most notable quotes from that Quincy Jones interview, Quincy Jones said that Brando would fuck anything. Anything. He would fuck a mailbox if he could. End quote. Now, in my opinion, when I first saw this, it was very debatable because with the fact that in that same interview, he even dropped the tea that at the age of 72, he dated Ivanka Trump, who is Donald Trump's daughter, when she was just 24. Can we say ill? But honestly, stranger things have happened in Hollywood. However, with further research that I did in a 1976 interview that Brando had with a French journalist, he basically admitted with the fact that, not that he's gay, but basically he's like pansexual. He will fuck a mailbox. In that interview, Brando said in a quote, "Homosexuality is so much in fashion, it no longer makes news." He then added, "Like a large number of men, I too have had homosexual experiences, and I'm not ashamed." So, maybe there is some truth to Quincy Jones's claims. The next black gay celebrity that died in the closet is by the name of Luther Vandross, who is a very astute R&B singer. Now, you guys, just like Richard Pryor, in 2005 he died of a heart attack, and you know, I gotta say, growing up, when I first saw a picture of him, probably like at the age of 8, when I came to terms with my like homosexuality, I looked at him, I looked at a picture of him because my mom loved Luther Vandross. My mom loved him. But when I first saw what he looked like, I was just like, Throughout the years, just like me, Beasley, a lot of people within the black community really speculated his sexuality. Like, everybody was just like, that man is gay. Like, I remember my aunties and my mom having debates about it. Like, when my mom was like, that man ain't gay. Like, there was always like at least one or two women that would defend the fact that he is not gay. But lo and behold, the man was gay. In 2017, Miss Patti LaBelle was on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, and she spilled the beans, basically outed him with the fact that he is gay. Like, she literally confirmed it, and she told that he did not come out of the closet mainly due to his mom, and in my opinion, due to his very huge female fan base.
Did he struggle with the idea of coming out publicly? Was that something that you talked about at all?
We talked about it. It was basically, he did not want his mother to be, although she might have known, but he wasn't going to come out and say this to the world. And he had a lot of lady fans, and he told me that he just didn't want to upset the world.
The next celebrity on this list goes by the name of Paul Winfield. Now, a lot of y'all may not know him, but a lot of you old heads would know him. Paul Winfield was a very famous actor in the 1970s all the way up into the 2000s. He is most notably known for his role as Martin Luther King in the television miniseries called King. He was also known for his roles in Sonder, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, and also The Terminator. In 2004, he had complications with diabetes and obesity, and at the age of 64 in that same year, he died of a heart attack. Sidebar, y'all, what's up with these black men and these heart attacks? Like, now this is gonna sound terrible, but like, baby, is it just too much sugar in the tank and high cholesterol? Throughout the years in his career, it was a very well kept secret in Hollywood that he was a gay man, but he was basically on the DL. To kind of like cover up the fact that he's gay, he even dated Cicely Tyson, who at the time was his co-star in Sonder. For over 30 years, he actually had a boyfriend by the name of Charles Gillian Jr., who was an architect, and they were together all the way up until Charles died in 2002. And low-key, Paul was ahead of his time because he was a black gay man in Hollywood that had a white boyfriend, probably one of the first. The next celebrity on this list is Sherman Hemsley. Now, Sherman Hemsley is most notably known for his roles in The Jeffersons, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and also All in the Family. He died of lung cancer in 2012. Now, though it was not officially confirmed, there was a lot of speculation and a lot of breadcrumb rumors from his colleagues that he was a gay man on the DL. Now, you had to look high and low for these rumors, but a lot of colleagues of his dropped some breadcrumbs. Way back in like 2002 on a message board, there was a person that actually interviewed Isabel Sanford. If you guys don't know who Isabel Sanford is, she was his like on-screen wife in like The Jeffersons, and I also think All in the Family. Those two were like a dynamic duo. Like back in the day, I thought they were like a real couple. But in a quote on this message board, the person says, "A friend of mine went to the Lucy Desi days in Jamestown, New York a while back. For their granted marshal, they had Isabel Sanford. Anyway, she had a chance for a few moments to talk to Isabel. She asked how her TV husband Sherman Hemsley was doing nowadays, and she claims that he and his boyfriend are doing just fine." Also, Garris Moore, who is a famous actor back in the day, always loved his work. I always felt like he should be much bigger than what he was, but Garris Moore in like Vlad TV interviews and other YouTube interviews basically confirmed that Sherman Hemsley was gay as well. And I would put the clip of Vlad TV in here, but the last time I did that, he literally tried to take down one of my videos, so fuck him.
You know, it's unfortunate because, again, it was a different time. Sherman Hemsley is, well, he's rumored. I don't know if he ever came out, but I never saw that he was married or not. But he was a homosexual male in Hollywood. You know, did you know, or did any of you guys know that he was in the closet at that time?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I knew a long time.
Oh, so it was an open secret.
I knew it. No, I knew it long before I got on the show. I knew it, you know. And it's a shame that people have to live their lives like that.
Absolutely.
You know, particularly in a world where we claim democracy is important, love and all of that. And, you know, there's so many people who, even right now, are trying to treat people like they're not human beings. You know.
The next celebrity on this list is Nell Carter. If you guys don't know who Nell Carter is, Nell Carter was a singer and actress who started her career in 1970. Her most notable role was her playing Nell Harper on the 1980s sitcom Give Me a Break. The show Give Me a Break was a success, and it actually lasted 6 seasons, which was pretty big back then. But at the age of 54, she passed away, even though she survived like a brain aneurysm, especially after complications with diabetes. She passed away due to natural causes. But despite her having a husband and 2 children back in the day, it was revealed that she was a lesbian after her death because all of her fortune went to her longtime partner by the name of Ann Causer, who also was the custodial parent of her 2 kids. The next celebrity on this list is Whitney Houston. Now, you guys, Whitney Houston was the first idol that I fell in love with as a kid. Like, I mean, outside of Brandy. But Whitney Houston, to me, was an angel. I gotta say, it's truly sad how her life ended up turning out. Like, she was on drugs, like, hard drugs. I'll never forget that Whitney and Bobby show. Even though it was funny, it was also sad at the same time. Like, I remember watching it, and then after maybe like an episode or two, I just couldn't look at the shit.
Hello.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
I need to go to the back.
I need to. Huh?
Go to get my glasses.
Before you go, do you like these on me? I think these are tight, but they get down.
They work for me. They work for me. They work.
Because I'm hungry.
But despite her being married with a child, for a long time it was always speculated that she was either bisexual or a closeted lesbian, which a lot of people speculate was the reason why she got hooked on drugs, because she was using those drugs to kind of cope with the fact that she couldn't be herself. But during the pandemic era of the world, Robin confirmed on the Wendy Williams show that her and Whitney Houston were a lesbian couple. They were together the entire time. This is just like my opinion and observation. Like, even as like a kid, mainly when I got to like middle school, high school, I just had a feeling that like she was a lesbian. Like, I kind of just knew it. Like, I don't know what it is. I just felt like I just saw somebody that wasn't happy and it was like doing this, and that, and the third to cope with the fact that they're not happy. It's sad to say, but Whitney Houston was the original church girl. You know, she did her dirt behind the scenes, but she didn't want to displease her mom or the church. Like, I always gave Sissy Houston the side eye because she would sit there and it just seemed like, yeah, the money's coming in, but it just looked like you were fine with your daughter doing drugs as long as she wasn't a lesbian. And I don't know, y'all. And with the fact that, like, you lost your daughter to drugs, and yeah, you're old, but you saw your daughter go through drugs and die, and then you literally watched your granddaughter go through the same thing, and you didn't do anything. It is what it is, y'all. And I forgot to say, Whitney Houston died in 2012 due to, y'all know how she died. The last celebrity on this list is the comedian by the name of Paul Mooney. Y'all, Paul Mooney was one of my favorite black comedians growing up. Like, I most notably knew him when he was Negro Damas on the Dave Chappelle Show. Y'all, I thought Paul Mooney was just immensely funny, and low-key, his comedy was kind of like dark humor, but a lot of his comedy, in my opinion, predicted the future.
Negro Damas? Why is President Bush so sure Iraq has weapons of mass destruction?
Because he has the receipt. Next question. White people love Wayne Brady because he makes Brian Gumble look like Malcolm X.
In 2021, Paul died of, you guessed it, a heart attack. Now, y'all, this gets a little dark, but before I go into this part of Paul Mooney's legacy, I just want to say allegedly. During the last decade of his life, there was a lot of speculation about his sexuality, but he always dismissed them and lived his life as a straight man with a wife and kids. But it wasn't until maybe like around 2019 where the rumors dropped that he allegedly sexually assaulted Richard Pryor's son by the name of Richard Pryor Jr. Way back in the day, Richard Pryor and Paul Mooney were more than just colleagues, they were good friends. Hell, there was even like a clip I found where Richard Pryor was actually doing Paul Mooney's roast, which low-key kind of started the gay rumors with Paul Mooney.
But really, Paul, it's really been a pleasure working with you because we worked together many years ago on the Red Fox show. We started writing together. We walked into the office with a white man, and Paul didn't. What he did was suck his dick.
However, way in 2019, Richard Pryor's bodyguard by the name of Rashawn Khan spilled the tea in an interview that Paul Mooney basically SA'd Richard Pryor Jr. and during that time, Richard Pryor actually wanted a hit put out on Paul Mooney. And to put more salt on the wounds, even though at that time Paul Mooney was like really dispelling those rumors, Richard Pryor Jr. came out and gave a brief statement on the sexual assault. In the quote to TMZ, Richard Pryor Jr. said, "Whatever happened in my life, it happened when I was young, way before the 80s. Also, when asked if it was a consensual relationship, Richard Jr. said, "How could any relationship be consensual if I was a teenager?" Now, after that quote came out, Paul Mooney didn't have any legs to stand on, and really the only people that were defending him were his two twin sons that actually look older than Paul Mooney by the name of Daryl and Dwayne Mooney. Child, Paul Mooney died when he was 79. Why do his kids look like they're in their 80s? Like, baby, it's giving Great Depression sharecropper. But during that time, the block was so hot with the fact that these allegations were having him cancel shows. And then 2020 came around, the pandemic hit, so a lot of people forgot about it. And he kind of just basically kept a low profile up until he died in 2021. So that's how Paul Mooney's life ended. So yeah, y'all, you know, I thought this was going to be a very positive video, but it got a little dark and negative. I'm sorry, y'all. Maybe I'm a dark and negative individual. But the one overall theme that all these celebrities have in common was the fact that they were trying to elevate themselves, and in order to do that, they had to please everybody around them, but they weren't able to really please themselves. They could only please themselves behind the scenes, behind the curtains, behind the closet. Especially when you're a black gay man, you know, in Hollywood, especially in like the 70s and all that, if you were like machismo, a macho man, you were basically a Mandigo, and you had to like live up to that Mandigo fantasy, or you had to live up to like the female gaze fantasy, basically. I'm basically Mandigo, like I said. And a lot of people would think that women would have it easier because a lot of people accept women being lesbians versus, you know, a man being gay. But I will say in the black community, none of it gets any play. Like, black people at that time were not fucking with being gay. They weren't fucking with it. They saw it as, like, you're already black. That's one strike against you in society. So now you're gay on top of that, that's like a huge strike, especially when during those times they saw being gay as a mental illness. So you're black and gay, double homicide. The thing with Hollywood, in order to get on, you have to play into an archetype or play into being a character. Especially with today, it's like everybody is not their authentic selves, they're a character. And I guess that's why influencers are like famous, because most of them, you know, actually are themselves until they get put on, and then they have to play into being a fucking character. But literally, when you're exposed by being gay, it's basically breaking kayfabe. If you guys don't know what kayfabe is a term in wrestling where like a lot of characters, like a lot of the wrestlers had to stay in character and sell their character even outside of work. I'm glad those days are over in wrestling. But I will say, if a person saw you out and you were just like this normal regular Joe Schmo, but you weren't the same character that you portrayed on television, they would think that that was kind of like an odd thing, and they would kind of not believe in wrestling. But when a black person is out of the closet and they're being themselves, they're like breaking character, and they're not really living up to the person that they built up in order for them to become famous and rich. And that's basically how things still are today. Even though we've gotten better, there's still a good chunk of the black community that is not fucking with being gay. Like, they don't like gay people. They still see gay people as lesser than. To this day, even though we've made a lot of progress, there is still a good chunk of the black community that sees being gay as less than. Being black and gay is just like, you're just handicapped, a double handicap basically, a paraplegic. Like, you make the community look bad. That's how a lot of gay people are seen, and that's why a lot of gay men, especially black gay men, choose to stay in the closet so they can, you know, have some type of leg up in society, especially with these days where black gay men, black straight men are now the prize. But it is what it is. I don't want to hold you guys too long. Let me know what you guys think about this list, and what do you guys think about the fact that black gay people are still looked down within the black community? Like, how do you guys feel? Like, do you guys feel like the black community has made like real progress with the gay community, or do you guys feel like the black community only accepts gays because that's like the thing to do these days? But those are my views. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to come back at you guys with some more content.